Hey everybody, it's your bruddaZen, and it's time for another Take 10 with Zen, where we take 10 minutes or less to talk about subject matter of connecting to the spirit world, understanding the powerful individual we truly are, and where I answer questions also for my subscribers. In the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about fates and its timing, and how our conscious and unconscious side of ourselves can impact when things come into our life and what may be keeping things away as well. And in this episode, we're going to kind of finish out the subject of fate, for at least now, by talking about, is our death scene date, is that really fated? A couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that there are very, very few events in our life that are fated down to the exact date and time for them to happen. Now, birth is one of those. And if you think about the astrology of it all, we choose the location, the date, and the time that we're born to be influenced by all the planets that make up the soup of who we are, that bring in our gifts, our talents, our challenges, our superpowers, and all of that. Now, we also choose like where in the pecking order, am I a triplet, am I a twin, or am I an only child that's born, at a time? Am I going to be an only child in the family? Am I the middle child, the oldest of 10? Am I going to have stepbrothers, half-brothers and sisters, or siblings? All of that we decide and choose, though those things are not as impactful as the exact timing of our own birth. Because though those do influence the character that we are, the core character of who we are is determined by our birth. The usual second most impacting event in our lives is when we leave the physical body. And our characters are already substantially defined a bunch by its astrology, as we just mentioned, and we continue to evolve throughout our lifetime. That dash that's in between the dates listed on either side of the tombstone. When it comes to our physical death, we're given like a range of death dates, starting with the minimum, the soonest that our death could happen, if we don't take care of this physical vehicle that we're walking around in, if we're not, working on our self-love and transforming those fears and those things that are within us. Because the stress and the fears of this life will take its toll if they're not transformed, because the means our body is often in fight or flight mode. And when we're in fight or flight mode, it has great impact. If you ever look up how that impacts our body, it shuts down our immune system, floods our nervous system, it shuts down our digestive system, and a whole bunch of other impacts to our physical body. So it does cause de-stress and dis-ease. But our physical death date can also be extended as we take care of these physical bodies, right? Eating better, eating healthier, making sure we're active, making sure we're resting, relaxing, sleeping, and trying to be at peace as much as we can as well. That keeps us out of fight or flight mode. Also, connecting as much as we can to our higher selves, to that eternal, unconditional love, also connects and positively influences that physical expiration date. Because the more we're connecting to the higher love, the more we're opening up this pipeline of unconditional love that keeps us out of fear and in love instead. So as we let go of these limiting mind beliefs, these thoughts that we have been inundated with all our life that are rooted in fears, letting go of these emotions of fear that no longer serve us, it actually can help extend our physical life itself. And most death dates impact others' stories and experiences. So if it is significant to another's experience, for us to leave our physical bodies by a certain time, that can impact our own range of life as well. But this is all predetermined before we come down here, so our souls all know it before we choose the life we live. Just sometimes it is a surprise to the human side of us. I channeled a miscarried baby once before for a friend of mine, and it was quite the experience, as you can imagine, because she shared that there were plans that this range of their creation, of course, but of when they were going to leave their mother's life, because it was either from in the womb all the way up to like a year or so, being born upon the earth. But when she was in the womb, she decided, she was like, no way, I am not going into that world. And she said she knew that the experience that their mother wanted to have around loss, that they would have enough of that with just the miscarriage itself. So she chose to opt out of coming and ending her life earlier at an earlier time. And she still continued to be a spirit guide for her mama, although she shared that she wasn't the spirit guide as a baby. She was the spirit guide as like a young adult or a grown-up. So it's amazing. The spirit world is so much more limitless and with less boundaries than we've been taught to believe with our human mind. So sometimes these things that come through blow our minds, and it's great because it helps us expand our minds as well. So hopefully this information helped, and we will continue on our journey of Take 10 with Zen. If you have any questions on anything that we've talked about, you can pop your question down below in the comment section, or if you have any ideas on any other questions that you would like answered, you can share them below. And if you don't feel comfortable putting it out there in the public, I understand. You can also email me at bruddaZen@gmail.com, and I'll answer you there as well. Just let me know if you want it public or not, and I'll ask you as well. But as you're going throughout this next week, please know that every second of every day of your life that you, yes, you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until we chat again, much love to you. You hang in there and you take care.